Do you love yarn hauls like I love yarn hauls? If so, stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome to Fancy Fiber Forum. My name is Donna and today is, I didn't even look at the date, so I'll put it right here. It is Saturday. I do know that it is Saturday, and my son just left to go run some errands, so I thought perfect opportunity to share with you the yarn haul to beat all yarn hauls. And for those of you who I keep in touch with on a regular basis, you've probably been waiting to see this. Hi Bernadine. Hi Joyce. Hi Gail. So I have a lot of yarn to share. So much. By the way, happy local yarn store day. How many of you, raise the hands, how many of you visited your local yarn store or took advantage of maybe local yarn store deals online? I can say that I did, but I only went to one because I got better deals elsewhere and it was not a local yarn store. So if you would like to check out everything I got, sit back, relax. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope you will enjoy watching what I have to share today, because I am just filled with joy and the love of Jesus, and I just want to share all that with you today. I hope you love Jesus too. And if you don't have a love for Jesus in your heart, I hope that you find it soon, because he loves you. God loves you. And he wants you to follow him so that you can spend eternity with him in heaven. So let's get started, shall we? Where should I even start? You know what? I'm going to start, because it's right here in front of me, I'm going to start with 3 hanks of yarn that I recently dyed. 2 of them are over dyed. One of them was an undyed. And I wished I'd taken a picture. I may be able to find one of the hank before I dyed it. It was basically a green and white kind of variegated or marled. And I just wasn't a fan of the color. Even though I love green, I just wasn't a fan of, I guess, the marling effect on the yarn. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and dye it. And it turned out beautifully. So the yarn is a Cascade 220 Superwash Effects. The color number is color 07 for both of these. And one of them I dyed in red using Wilton cake icing. It was, I believe, red is what it's called. The other one I used burgundy, which I have not used. Well, I haven't used either one of those before. So I think they turned out lovely. You can still see, if you look closely, you can still see a little bit of the green that didn't take. But there's the label. Cascade, it's taped. It's taped. Cascade 220 Effects. And it's a 4-weight yarn. And that's how it turned out. It's almost an orangey red, I would say. But there's bits, I don't know if you can see it here, that you can kind of see the green through it. But I think it turned out nice. So that's the red. Here's the burgundy. This one you can definitely see a little bit more of the green in here. But I don't mind it. That turned out really nice. Same yarn. 100% superwash. 100 grams, 220 yards. Nice. So those were 2 overdyes. And then I had some of the, what did I have left? Or did I use a pink? I should have written it down. I know I should have written it down. But I have this undyed worsted, supposedly 100% cashmere from Temu. It's 125 meters, 50 grams. And I think it turned out really pretty. I dip dyed it. So the darker was at the bottom of the hank. But I think, I don't remember now that I'm thinking about it. I don't remember if this had, I think it had pink. I think I might have done maroon, what was left of the maroon, and then pink, or I made up pink. I don't know. I may have added pink to the red. I don't remember, but that's how it turned out. I think that's really pretty. So those are my dye jobs from this week. All right, so I guess I'm going to go in order of when these yarn orders came in. So I'm going to go with the Temu order first. And we'll just get started. I apologize in advance for the crinkling. It's way louder on the video than I hear it here in person. So this first one, I saw somebody else get this, and I just thought it's so pretty. And I think it does have some acrylic in it, but it's pretty enough. I don't really care. So it is from Opie, and it's just this really pretty kind of yellowish green, sparkly. Isn't that pretty? And there are, let's see, eight balls per bag. And it's supposedly 80% wool. And it says 20% RARON. I don't know if that's supposed to be rayon. I don't know. I can't imagine it's rayon. I'm sure it's acrylic. So it's probably a wool acrylic blend, but I don't know if I'd say it's 80% wool. And so I've started knitting, and I decided I'm going to see how this particular yarn knits. And because I'm new to knitting, this kind of yarn probably wasn't the best choice, but I'm determined. I am determined. I already made one mistake, and surprisingly it frogged. I couldn't believe it did. Surprisingly it frogged back with the halo that it has. I mean, look at that. That's got a heck of a halo. I was surprised it frogged as easily as it did. It caught just a couple or 3 times. Other than that, it wasn't bad. And it caught mainly on the ends. But here is, and if I keep going, it'll be a scarf. Here's what I have so far. And I started out doing both knit stitch, both front and back. So both sides are garter stitch. And then I thought, I'm going to change it up And I'm going to do knit one side, purl the other, just that I get these really pretty knit stitches. And I didn't bring my needles in here. I may have to pause and go get my needles. Anyway, I don't remember what size needle this is, but it's a small, I want to say it's 2.75, maybe. But I am really enjoying it. And as long as I can stay focused and be very intentional with my stitches, it's not a problem for me at all. I just have to focus and stay intentional and not let my mind wander, because it's when my mind wanders that I get in trouble. So I think if I can finish that, that's going to be such a pretty scarf or ear warmer, maybe headband, because it's only like 5 inches wide. Maybe a headband, twist it, you know. Anyway, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. So here's another one that I also saw on someone's channel. This is supposed to be 50/50 wool acrylic, and it's also opie. And there are 6 balls per bag. There's the bag. And here's the yarn. Again, very fuzzy. I don't know if I'll use this to knit or crochet. I don't know, but it's so, I love these colors. Like lavender and light blue. That's mainly what I'm seeing. Maybe some, yeah, it's mainly lavender and white blue. So pretty. Very, very pretty. So I got that. Okay. And then this one I got because I won a cake from Antoinette at Hookin' and Stitch Nylon Style. I won a cake of this same yarn from her, and I'm making a shawl with it. I'll share that in another video, my projects. But I loved it so much because it's 100% viscose, so it has a sheen to it. So I decided to look it up, and I found them, and I came across this color that I just love, and I can hardly wait to make something with it. So it's baby pink in the middle, and then it fades out to like this chartreuse and then white. That's going to be, that would make a really pretty spring shawl. And I think the hook I'm using is either 3.25 or 3.75. I can't remember which. And I'm using a pattern from Tina. I don't know how to, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. But she's in Norway, I think. I think she's in Norway. Tina, Tinna. And some of you may know who she is. She does a lot of mosaic patterns, but she's got a couple of shawls on there that are super easy. And I'm actually making one of each of those really easy shawls. One of them using that yarn that I won. So thank you, Antoinette. If you're watching, I am definitely putting that to use. All right, so the next is called yak wool. And I've had this before. And I believe either I found it at a thrift store, which I think that's where I got it, or it was in a mystery bag. But I think I found it at a thrift store. I'm almost positive I did. So I loved working with it so much that I decided to get more. Whoops. And it's, I would say this is probably, goodness gracious. I would say that's an Aran weight, bordering on a 5. It's a heavy 4. But this is supposed to be yak and wool. I should have written down the specs on it because it's all in Chinese. But as far as I can remember, if there's any synthetic in here, it's not very much. And it's just a really nice yarn. And once again, I thought I was ordering red, and I get this burnt orange. So I'm not seeing the colors correctly or something. I don't know what's going on there. And I accidentally ordered 2 of the same color packages. So you get 4 per package. And I believe they come out to $3 a ball. These are also on Amazon, but they're $5 a ball. So $3 a ball. And these are, it's soft. This is not heathered like this one is. And I don't know if you'll be able to see the heathering in that yarn, but this is the same color that I had when I got this yarn before. And I just fell in love with the color because of the variation in the color. It's a little slubby. There's got some slubs right there in navy. But it's soft. So I got 8 of the burnt orange. I got 4 of the purple. And I got 4 navy. And this is not heathered either. So I guess the only one that's heathered is that purple. I'm not seeing that this one is heathered. So I got a whole bunch of this yak wool. This will probably be great to practice knitting with. Okay, so that's all for the Temu yarn. I'm going to put this back. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so let's move on now to the last and the best yarn haul to beat almost every other yarn haul. I've said that before. I've come across some great deals. This one was no exception. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a website called, I believe it's called estatesales.net, I believe. You can go on there and sign up for alerts with certain keywords, and you'll get an email with whatever that estate sale is that may have those keywords. So let's say you're looking for diamond painting. You can put in diamond painting. And anytime an estate sale comes to your area, it'll alert you, send you an email. Here's an estate sale and they have diamond painting. Just be aware that if you do like I did and choose yarn or crochet, those are the 2 words I chose. Anything made with yarn, you're going to get notified. So if it says, stuff that's already made with yarn, it'll notify you. And if something is crocheted, like a blanket, it's already made, it'll notify you. So I don't know how to modify that. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Estatesales.net is, I believe, the website. I'll have to look it up, and I may link it below. Well, and that's how I got notified of that one No, that was an auction. I might have been notified about this auction through that also, where I got all of that Madeline Tosh that's back here. That was a heck of a deal also. Those were like average $6 or $7 a hank for Madeline Tosh. Yeah, that was great. Um, so this time it was an estate sale, and it was in a town an hour east of me, 45 minutes to an hour east of me. And it was starting Thursday or Wednesday. Wednesday. It started this past Wednesday. So I asked my friend Betty if she wanted to go. And of course she said she wanted to go. She wanted a reason to take the day off. So she requested the day off. I think I must have given her a couple of days notice. I might have asked her Friday because she had to wait the weekend to hear back from her boss. Anyway, so we went on Wednesday. Started at 2 p.m. and it was over at, I think, 6. Either 4 or 6. So we were there for about an hour. We got there an hour early because they were handing out numbers. So the sooner you got there, you wouldn't have to wait in line as long. So we got there an hour, we got there 2 hours early. We got there at noon, just before noon. So we got our numbers. We were numbers 35 and 36. And, or 36 and 37, something like that. So we got our numbers, and then we went and had something to eat. And then we went back like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 15 minutes before they started. Waited in the car for a little while. Then when people started filling up the front yard, we decided we'd go. They wanted everybody in line in numerical order. So we found our spot and we waited. And we thought maybe they're only going to let the first 25 in. I don't know. I don't know how many they let in. But we were lucky enough to get let in on the first go. So we went in and figured immediately where we needed to go was the basement. Because judging by the pictures, that's where it looked like everything was as far as yarn. So we went down to the basement. It was full. There was so much stuff. And of course, first day, everything is full price, right? Well, I had called the contact number the day before, I think, and just told her, that I wanted to kind of have an idea of what to expect because it had been a while since I'd been to an estate sale. So I just wanted an idea of what to expect. So she told me all about the numbers and everything, and then I took a chance and asked her about pricing. And she said, normally what I do is just look it up on eBay and price it at half of what it goes for on eBay. And I thought, you're going to do that for every yarn, every brand? I didn't say that. That's what I thought. She's going to do that for every brand. That may not be very beneficial. So we get there and we go downstairs, and immediately I spot the yarn, and there was this table. There was a table with crochet hooks. She must have done way more knitting than crocheting. There wasn't much in the way of crochet hooks. There was a lot of knitting needles, including a set of Knit Picks birch needles. I'm going to go grab it. I will be right back. It was here the whole time. It was in my bag. So a couple of people were looking at this. It was just a little card table, so it wasn't a big table. And so it caught my eye because I really want to start learning how to knit. And all the rest of the knitting needles, almost all the rest of them were straight needles. And I'm discovering I really like the circulars better because they don't get in the way as much. And since I hold my needles so close, straight needles aren't always great. So I saw this, I saw the price on it, and there was another gal next to me, and she goes, that sells for about $120. I bet it sells for more than that. Anyway, here's the kit. This has so much in it. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it came this way with everything that's in here. I mean, the needles, yeah, I can imagine those were here. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prepackaged in various sizes. Yeah, 2 of each. She's got these labeled. So 2 each of 2.75. Yeah, 2.75. That's 3, 2.75. I'm just now going through these. 4, 2.75. 3. These are millimeter, is what I'm saying. 3 millimeter. Okay, so 2 3 millimeter, a 3.25, and another 3.25. So 4 2.75 millimeter. Oh, they're different size cables. That's why. And then the 3 millimeter have a 32-inch cable, and the 3.25 have a 40-inch cable. Yeah, so there's eight needles total. 2 of the 2.75 are 32-inch, and then 2 of them are 40-inch. So those are in there. And there's those interchangeables. I've already got this set out for that scarf I'm doing. So those are in there. I mean, these are beautiful. Beautiful birch needles. The only thing I don't like about them is they're not marked in any way. So I considered getting like an engraving tool, but then I thought I could cause burrs in the metal, and that won't be good. So good on me to think about that. Oh, and then we've got extra cords here, and there's stoppers in here. There's so much stuff. Stoppers, and there's these, what are they called? ID tags with the millimeter on them. And there's keys. This is jam-packed. I don't know what something like this retails for. I paid $70 for it. I would say I got my money's worth. And I know if I would have waited till even the next day, it wouldn't have been there. I really don't think it would have been there. But maybe it would have, because when we went back today, I'll get to that here in a bit, there were some more knitting needles, but they were straight needles, and they were big. They were large diameter needles. So I am so happy to have this set. And like I said, I've already I've already cast on with that, and it's a lovely needle. It's just lovely. So I'm so happy I found that. That's the very first thing I picked up, was that set of needles. So I thought, cha-ching, $70 right off the bat. That's okay. So anyway, from then on, there's yarn, and more yarn. There's yarn in totes. There's yarn closed totes. There's yarn in open totes. There's acrylic. There's cotton. There's Knit Picks yarn. Everywhere. I should have taken a picture. This woman was a craft fanatic. She had books upon books, knitting and crocheting books, hardcover books, softcover books. I only picked up one book today because I thought, I've already got books. I'm not going to look in a book. If I want a pattern, I'm probably just going to download it. I'm not going to pick a book and hope that I'm going to like maybe one pattern in the whole book. And books were $2 for hardcover and I think $1 for paperback. Anyway, she had books. She had a wooden Swift. I wish now I would have picked up. She had a ball winder, which was still there today. I didn't get it. I don't need it. I don't need a Swift either. But a wooden Swift would have been nice to have. She had seed beads. I picked up one little box of seed beads for $1. She had more than that. She had so much crafting stuff, fabric, so much. So anyway, let me get to what I got on Wednesday. And you guys, these prices, even at full price for the first day, were very good. Like I said, she was going to do half of what it would have been on eBay. That's not what she did. I don't know how she came up with the pricing she did. But basically, I didn't look at any acrylic, but basically all of the more natural fibers were $3 a piece. $3. That's incredible. They had Rowan for $3 a piece. So anyway, I will start with what I got. This is from Joe Sharp, and it is called Silk Road DK Tweed. And it's just a really nice olivey green. I'd say probably a 3-weight tweed. And it is 85% wool, 10% silk, 5% cashmere. It does feel a little rustic. I wouldn't say toothy. Oh, it smells good. Doesn't smell musty at all. The color name is called Bean Shoot. Joe Sharp. I've never heard of this brand at all. It's 50-gram ball, 147 yards. Recommends 5mm needles. And it's just a really pretty, kind of a mossy green, more of a mossy green than an olive. So there's 6 in this bag for $18. I bet retail is more like 2 for $18. So there's that. And the next one is a Rowan. And again, $3 a ball. And this was a bag of 4. So $12 for Rowan Felted Tweed, which is 50% merino, 25 alpaca, 25 viscose. And it's another tweed in this really pretty lilac color. And there's 4 of them. So $12 for Rowan felted tweed. I haven't looked that up to see what it would retail for, but it might be $12 per ball. I bet it's at least 9. So I got that. And then I saw Noro. There was a label on the tote that said Noro. So I went digging and I found the Noro, and it is Noro Silk Garden Sock, which I've had before. It's a single ply, and it's 40% lamb's wool, 25 silk, 25 nylon, 10% kid mohair. And this is color number S269, and it's just a neutral beige Noro. Pretty. Single ply. There's 3 of them in here for $9. 3 for $9. Where can you get Noro? Unless you get really lucky at a thrift store. Where can you, I mean, you go to Savers and you found this? I don't think it would be $9. They would probably charge you $9 for 1 or 2 of them. So there's that. And here's another brand that I've never heard of before. Sorry for the crinkle. Sorry for the noise. I'm just trying to make room here. So this is from, it's a South African yarn called LYS or LYS. Gems. LYS Gems. 100% merino yarn. And this is in Baby Willow. This retailed for $8.25. And I got 7 hanks of these, of this 50 grams. 7 hanks for $21. They had a whole lot more. I wish now I would have grabbed more of these because I could dye this. They had a real bright yellow, but see how it's marled? They had yellow, they had blue, they had pink, but no, I just gravitate towards the green. They may have had a purple. I should have grabbed more. I was really hoping there would be some of this left, and there wasn't. So I got that. And that's the last of the yarn that I got on Wednesday, along with the needles. Yeah, I think that's all I got on Wednesday. Pretty sure. So I molded over, whether I thought it would be beneficial to go back today, which would have been 75% off everything. I mean, I almost lost sleep trying to decide because it's an hour drive. You know, it'd be one thing if it was just, 15 or 20 minutes away, but it's an hour. So it was a decision that I knew I had to make whether I wanted to go. So I had asked my son if he'd want to go. And not because I didn't want to drive. I don't mind driving, even though my car is older and I don't know that I trust. Nothing is wrong with it, but the older it gets, things keep cropping up. Like I just had to replace the alternator not long ago, 2 or 3 months ago. So it makes me nervous, especially when if funds are kind of tight. I shouldn't have said that. But it makes me nervous to go far because if something happened, then, you know, I'm out a lot of money. It's not in the budget to fix the car. So I asked my son if he wanted to go, and at first he said no, that he had to run some errands. And then he thought about it some more and he said, well, I'll just see if I can go a little bit later, because he was taking his friend Cecil. He does this every weekend. So he decided he would go, and so I said, okay, set your alarm for 10:30 and we'll go. Well, the first thing on the agenda today was to go to Knitcraft, which is my local yarn store, which is closest to me. For one thing, it's my favorite local yarn store. For another, I had told Lori I was coming. For another, she was offering 20% off for everyone that arrived between 10 and 10:30. So I was there like just before 10 and she was already open. So I went in. She gave me my little coupon and I knew exactly what I wanted. So I went and grabbed exactly what I wanted. I kind of wish now I would have grabbed a little more, but that's all right. I don't need any more. So I've had my eye on this yarn for quite a while. It's Malabrigo sock. And it's normally, what, $21? Let me just look at my receipt. I think it's $21. Where's my receipt? She did not put it in there. So I thought with 20% off, I can justify grabbing a couple. Plus, I got paid for the sourdough focaccia that I made a couple of days ago. I delivered that yesterday. Got cash for that. So I said, that's my yarn money. At least for Knitcraft. That's going to be my yarn money. So I stayed within my budget on that cash I had. That was my plan. So anyway, Malabrigo sock. And the color is called Flavia. I have been wanting this for so long. It's lavender and light green. It's my two favorite colors together. So I got 2 of those. I almost got 3. I thought about getting 3, but I got 2. That's enough. And then I got, of course, I had to get some more of the Anzula Ava. And I hemmed and hawed about the color. They've only got 3 colors left. She's only got 3 colors left. So she's got the Madam, she has Elephant, I believe, and she has, no, 4 colors. Did I say 3? She's got the Madam, the Elephant, Blueberry, and Storm. Those are the only 4 colors she has left. So she sold the rest of that darker wine color that I already have. So I got 2 more of the Madam in the Anzula Ava. And this is just a really nice berry. It looks more red on my screen, but it's a berry color. It's so soft, so soft. And the Anzula Ava, for those of you who don't know, 80% superwash, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. I'm not done buying that. I need to do a project with it because I just want to put my fingers through it. She was, okay, along with the 20%, she was also offering raffle tickets. You get 1 raffle ticket for every $25 you spend. So I got 2 raffle tickets. I got a 10% coupon that's good for the 3rd Saturday in May. So I'll go back in May and use that to get more Anzula. And I almost went back because she had Malabrigo, was it Mecca? I think it was Malabrigo Mecca on her sale wall that was already 20% off. And then it was another 20% off that. So I almost went back and got it, but I've already got a lot of bulky yarn. I really don't need any more just because it says Malabrigo. I really don't need any more. And I don't reach for that, especially this time of year. I don't reach for that nearly as often as I do the fingering and the sport weights. So, I didn't even tell you the weights of any of these yarns I got at the estate sale, but you saw them. So that's what I got on the first round of the estate sale. And then I showed you what I got today at Knitcraft, because I went there first thing this morning. So my son was supposed to go with me, right? Well, I messaged Betty, who had gone with me on Wednesday. I messaged her today, this morning. And I said, I'm getting ready to go back to the estate sale for 75% off. She said, she texted me and I didn't see it because I was in Knitcraft. I was shopping, so I didn't even hear it. But as I'm checking out, she called me. Do you want company? I'd go with you. I said, really? You'd go back? She's much more fiscally responsible than I am. So it surprised me. And I didn't think to ask her if she wanted to go. I just wanted to let her know I was going. So she said, yeah, I want to go. So I texted my son. I said, don't worry about getting up. Me and Betty are going. You just stay home. So he got to sleep a little longer, which I'm sure he appreciated. So Betty and I went over to her house, parked my car there. We drove out to Higginsville. That's where it was. And everything was 75% off. And I have no idea what's left. Not a clue. But, at least we're getting out of the house. Even if there's nothing there that I want, it was still a nice ride. Betty drove. I offered to drive. She drove, which is probably good. And did I score? I'm going to show you the size bag I took. I took this same bag on Wednesday. I did not fill this bag. Here's the bag. That's a big bag. This is like my travel bag when I go dog sitting. This is what I put my clothes in. Or when I go to Des Moines. That's a big bag. Have faith. This thing is full. So let me just show you what I was fortunate enough to find today. And there's a lot here. And hopefully I can stay organized enough because I'm running out of room. First, let me show you the book. Here's the book. And if any of you know about my knitting adventure, I've already got the knit and purl stitch down. I don't have a problem with the knit and purl. I can probably even figure out other stitches like cables. I don't know. I have not tried. But I don't know how to fix mistakes. So that's why I said, with this, I'm very intentional. Number one, with this fuzzy yarn, it would be really hard for me to fix a mistake with this fuzzy yarn. For those of you who knit and have knitted like with mohair or yarn like that with a halo, do you have any tips or secrets on how to fix mistakes with that? So anyway, I got this. Hopefully this will help. Once I learn I can fix my mistakes, I can take off. I will be able to take off. And it just opens up a whole world, a whole new world for me, if I can learn how to fix mistakes. My main trouble is my tremor. So if I have to focus on, picking out a stitch or something like that that requires, a very steady hand to fix, that's going to be my problem. And that's what concerns me, is not being able to have a steady enough hand to fix those mistakes. If any of you can offer any tips there or shed any light on that, please put them below or reach out to me via email, because I really want to knit. I am having such a good time with this. I'm having such a good time. And I'd like to learn how to make socks on circulars. No offense, Bernadine, but I don't think I'm going to be able to manage 4 needles. I really don't think I can. Even though I have them, I don't think I can. I think I need to get way more comfortable with everything before I tackle that. But I think if I started a sock on circulars, I think I could do it. At least until I got to the heel. I don't have a clue when it comes to the heel. Not a clue. Or the toe. Because there are many ways to finish off a toe. Anyway, so I got this. I looked through it briefly. The pictures are good, even though they're illustrated. The pictures are good. So I'm hoping this helps. So I picked that up. This was $2 minus 75%. I got that. Now, the yarn. There was so much yarn. Most of it was cotton. I really don't want any more cotton. I just don't reach for it. And I don't know about knitting with cotton. I tried it and it's difficult. So again, I need more practice under my belt before I start experimenting with cotton and linen, things like that have no give. So this brand I've worked with before. This is from Classic Yarns, and this is called Cash Soft Aran. It's 57% extra fine merino, 33% microfiber, 10% cashmere. This is like a grapey, kind of a grapey color. And there's 5 in this bag. And I told Betty that I thought that maybe some of the yarns, they may have repriced, because I saw some that were more than $3 a ball. Everything was in bags like this of multiple balls, and not all of them came up to $3 a piece. This one did. This was $15 for five balls of the Classic Yarns. So that's $3 a piece. So I got that. And here's another bag of 5. Again, $15. And these are Rowan Scottish Tweed 4-ply, 100% pure new wool. So this is a little toothy. This would probably be good as a hat or maybe some fingerless gloves. Color, I don't see. Says SH005. That might be the color number, but it's a really pretty lavender purple. There's 2 of these, and then there's 3 of 028. Kind of a topaz yellow. So those were $3 a ball. And then we have, okay, these were $9. So these were also $3 a ball. No, these were less than $3 a ball. $9 for 4. So what is that? $2.25 a piece. Sorry, I don't math well. I have never had Lion brand Lion Cashmere blend. I had no idea Lion brand made such a nice yarn. This is 72% merino, 14% cashmere, 14 nylon. That's definitely a 4-weight, bordering on an Aran. So there's one this color and one in blue, dusty blue. This is dusty blue. And this one is called Cream. Go figure. Then, the minute I saw these, I knew I had to have them. So these are from Elsbeth Levold Baby Llama. 100% Baby Llama. 50 grams. 109 yards. Color Ivory. And I'd say this is... I'd say that's a 3-weight. I think. It doesn't really tell you. Calls for a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. That's nice. That's really nice. So that bag of 4 was $9. Mind you, before the 75% off. These prices on here are all before 75% off. Next one, we have some more of the Rowan felted tweed, which I showed you earlier. That was Scottish tweed. This is felted tweed. And this is 50% merino, 25 alpaca, 25 viscose. Color SH 150. 50 grams, 191 yards. And I used to not really like tweed, but it's starting to grow on me a little bit. That's pretty. That's kind of like a wine red. And there's 5 in this bag for $20. So $4 a ball. That's not bad for Rowan. Even if it is 50 grams, that's not bad at all. We're still going. There's more. I'm going to save that for last because that is probably the deal to beat all deals. All right, so then I have some more classic yarns of the Cash Soft Baby DK. I think I've had this weight of the Cash Soft Baby before. And this is 57 merino, extra fine merino, 33 nylon, acrylic microfiber, 10% cashmere. So soft. And this is 5 balls in here for $15. So $3 a ball. And they're all 5 different colors. So we've got a baby blue, got a baby pink, light yellow, a cream, and a white. So there's that. And then we have some more classic yarns. I think this is the same. No, this is Cash Soft 4-ply. So this is a different weight. It's the same fiber content. 57 extra fine merino, 33% microfiber, 10% cashmere. And I'd say this is like a 2-weight. And I got 2 of the white Let me see if it has the color. SH433. This isn't really a stark white. It's almost a cream. And then I got a red and a pale green. And then this, I couldn't believe I found this. I'm so happy I found it. And I should probably, I'm going to open it and feel it because it's sealed. By the way, I think all of these are going to go in the freezer because I was opening one and I put it down in the freezer because there was something suspicious in the yarn that may or may not be eggs. They were kind of brownish in color. And a couple of them were like connected. And they were about, I don't know, the size of a grain of salt. Kind of reminded me of pepper. I don't know, a little lighter than pepper. So I think all this is going to go in the freezer for the next 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. So this, I couldn't believe this. This is a bag of 10. And color number is 404. So it's a really pretty green, like a leaf green. 70% extra fine merino, 30% silk. Right up my alley, you guys. If you know me, you know that I love that. These are 50-gram balls, 109 yards, so 1,000 yards. And made in Italy. I am not familiar with that name. Anybody else? I've never seen that name before. So I'm thinking this woman has been collecting yarn for a very long time. And most of this, if not all of it, is discontinued. I'm going to say that is a decent 3 weight. I'm going to say. And this is plied in a way that tells me that it could be splitty. We'll see. It's plied a lot like my KNC 100% merino. It's plied just like that. I can show you I don't know if you'll be able to tell how it's plied. I'm sure there's a word for that, how it's plied. So it's a bunch of different, I don't even know how many threads are in there, but they're all spun together. It's hard to explain. It's not plied like say that one. It's not plied the same. So hopefully it's not splitty. I don't know. We'll see. But again, it's going in the freezer. Better safe than sorry, right? So I can't show you the one in the freezer. And to be honest, I can't remember which one it is. But I think it's 100% superwash merino. So that is all of the yarn I got today. And that's from the other day. Do I have my receipt from today? I already know. Oh, here it is. So if I had bought this yarn on Wednesday, would have been, and you saw the prices. The prices were still really good. I haven't counted each ball, but there's got to be at least 50 balls of yarn here. I just haven't counted them all. So before the 75% off, everything would have been $196. And that still would have been a good deal. You saw the prices. Average $3, except for this one. These would have been $5. Still a good price For merino and silk, that's still a good price. After the 75% off, and I'm sure you math heads will know before I even tell you, $49 for all of this yarn that I got today at the estate sale. Oh, I left out one. I left one out. It is a pack of 6, and they were $3 a piece. Unbelievable. 2 different colors, 3 balls each of Rowan Kid Silk Haze. Isn't that a pretty orange? That is a pretty orange. And black. She must have had Halloween vibes when she got these. I'm guessing. 229 yards, 25 gram balls, 70% super kid mohair, 30% silk. Now, these have price tags on them. So back when she bought these were $15 a piece. So this is $90 worth of mohair yarn, mohair silk yarn. $90 worth. Thank you very much. See, and I didn't even see this on Wednesday. When Betty and I went on Wednesday, I wasn't feeling 100%. I'd woke up, of course, with a headache that day. Of all days, I had to wake up with a headache that day. Well, she took the day off, so there was no way I was not going to go. So I took, did I? Yeah, I did. I took an Excedrin migraine, but it was still lingering all the rest of the day, even after I got home. It didn't go away till probably after dinner time. And nothing seemed to help. Eating didn't help. Coffee didn't help. So, yeah, I didn't go through everything on that first day. Probably because I didn't want to overspend, because I knew everything was going to be full price. And, you know, you couldn't just cherry pick and get, you know, 1 of this or 2 of that. You had to buy the whole bag. So, you know, I spent enough, mainly because of those needles. But I'm glad we went back today. I am glad we went back today. And, you know, at 75% off, these were roughly under less than $1 a ball. Probably averaged about $1 a ball because of these that were 5, and then I think another one was 4. Oh, yeah, the one downstairs in the freezer was $40. How many were in there? 6? 8? I don't remember how many, but it was a $40 bag of yarn. So that one, I don't think there were 10 in there. Might have been 10 in there. That could have been. So those were $4 a piece. These were $5 a piece. Everything else was $3. Other than that one that was $2.25 a piece. So let's just say average $1 a ball. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we went. I am so glad that we went. And Betty's glad that we went also. Betty, if you're watching, hi. Here's my yarn room. So anyway, that is my yarn haul, guys. We are at, oh my gosh, just over an hour, and all I showed you was yarn. Of course, you know, yak, yak, yak. So again, all this is going in the freezer. Whatever will fit. I may have to rotate some of it, but you know, I'm not taking any chances when I saw what I saw in that one bag. So it's going to be in the freezer for a while. I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, I don't do that every time. I probably should. Anytime I get yarn from an individual, that's probably what I should do. And I haven't always done that. So that is my yarn. Now I don't know where I'm going to put it. Where am I going to put it all? Where do I have room? I'm going to have to juggle everything in this room. Of course, I've got a tower right here that's not anywhere near full, but this is where all my 4 weights go. So I've got everything organized by weight. And my 4 weights are here. So I could take, of course, these cubes are shaped differently. So these cubes are not compatible with these. So that wouldn't work, I don't think. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Of course I will. But anyway, I appreciate you coming along and watching, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the yarn I got. I'm certainly happy to have it. I'm so happy to have it. And yeah, this mohair, I'll have to find something to hold this double with. I don't think I want to. I've worked with it by itself, but it's tricky, especially in the summertime. As you know, it's getting warmer, your hands start to get sweaty. You don't want mohair sticking to your hands, you know. So with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. This has gone on way too long. I can't believe that it took me this long to go through this much yarn, but it did. So I appreciate it so much. You guys take care. I will do another video probably Monday with some makes that I'm working on and some things that I've finished, and we will see what is on the horizon for my knitting adventure. So until the next time, you guys take care. Remember, as I said, God loves you, Jesus loves you, I love you, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now. Bye.